here with my friend Ian Lewis, and he is going to give us a bonus top 3 tips for finding quality childcare.
Yeah, so we did a couple other videos together.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun, and I think we need to get offline and do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But being in the childcare world, and speaking to new parents and parents to be and everything else, there's always this question of like daycare or childcare or what do I do and how do I even start?
Right.
And the answer is not as simple as, well, Google it. I mean, and of course you can, and you should absolutely do that and find out what your available options are. But
right.
I do have 3 really good tips for finding and quality childcare and how to go about doing that.
Awesome. Very cool. And then if you're okay with it, I'm gonna just, for those of you watching this, when I started my business, fingerprinting was like one of the things we would do for schools, daycares and stuff. Some of the daycares I went to, like I didn't feel safe there. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm an adult, you know. So, but just kind of like there's something that you know, and obviously like it depends on what you're looking for and all that, but definitely take the time to know what you're doing.
Right.
Not even know what you're doing, but like what are you getting into?
Sure.
So I'm sorry. So
no, absolutely.
Full disclosure, I've unfortunately have seen the bad side of different child cares.
Well, and your family, you know, has child care
my
business,
mom, my mom owns
so
a
we're
daycare.
kind of intertwined in that world
and
a little bit.
You know, I just assumed everybody was like my mom's daycare.
Right.
And then I went and I was like,
well, and they're not, and we're not like your mom's place. You know what I mean? It's all a little bit different, but really, there's 3 things that you got to do, right? And so number 1 is, and you kind of just hit on it, is what are you looking for? Like a lot of times, so the answer is not I'm looking for childcare, because what does that really mean? Like, if that's your goal,
I met this guy at the coffee shop,
right,
you know,
right, and like, hey, he said I'll watch my kid, you know, that's childcare, right? And so, but make a list of what's important to you. Is it really, really important to you that the educational aspect, your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s are being hit on at an early age? Is it really important that your social aspects are being hit on at an early age?
Yeah.
Is nutrition super important to you? Security is a huge one. Like, what am I looking for in security? Am I looking for cameras? Am I looking for, you know, a challenged entry? So whether it be, you know, a fingerprint scanner or a key fob or number pad, you know, whatever it is, you know, understand that you as a family, you know, the decision makers of where your child's going to go, and whether it's you or you and a spouse or grandma and grandpa are involved, you know, what is important to you guys? And I think you actually have to make a list.
Okay, write it down.
Write it down. Because you'll forget, right?
Yes.
You're going to go to visit different places, and you're going to forget exactly what's important to you.
Well, it's the whole cliche of the second you're on the road and you leave, you're like,
you're going to look at a new car, right?
Yeah.
You're going to go there, and the salesman is going to say, well, yeah, but look at this truck. It is brand new, and now all of a sudden he's got you in a new truck. Right, me too. Me too. You don't necessarily need that, but maybe it does hit your needs.
But there's a big difference between like getting a different version of whatever vehicle you're looking for, and like, hey, this is your
care for your child.
You know,
your
kind of
world.
kind of more.
Agreed.
So less room for error. So.
Right, and so that kind of leads me into my second point. So the first point is know exactly what is important to you and write it down. So then the second point is tour again, tour some more.
Okay.
So
would you tour the same location multiple times?
Sure.
Okay.
You can.
Okay.
But I encourage everyone to tour at least 5 places.
Mm-hmm.
So make a list. You know, again, I'm kind of big on lists, but you know, so go to Google, find out. All right, so what's important to you? So going back to what's important to you, is it important to be close to work? It's important to be close to home. It's usually one of those two. No one really likes driving an extra 45 minutes out of the way just for no reason.
Correct.
But find 5, 6, 7, 8 places that you want to find out, even if, you know, maybe you see bad reviews or you see pictures and you're not into it. Go tour them.
Correct.
Because you need perspective.
Correct. Yeah, and too, it's tough. You know, like I swear it's like the the people that have time to write all these terrible reviews,
Right, right.
a lot of times, A, it was their fault they
Sure.
screwed something up, or B, they literally have nothing else to do. And they're
Right,
just
right.
trolling Google.
Sure,
Like, just
sure. It happens. You know, it's funny. It
Yeah,
sounds like an
yeah.
excuse a lot of times, but it happens.
Yes,
It happens
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
Or like perfect example, like my business name is not copyrighted.
Okay.
There is a Little Scholars that's less than 30 miles from where I operate.
Okay.
And I've had reviews and phone calls for that place, and I'm like, look,
that's
here's
not-
what's going on
Yeah,
here.
that's not
I'm like, oh
me.
my gosh, I'm so sorry. You know? Yeah.
On it was like my Facebook business page, I got like just a complete like bashing
Mm-hmm.
of our firm, and I'm looking, and it's some lady from Wisconsin.
Look,
I have
I don't
never
know
been
what
to
you want
Wisconsin in my
from me.
life, but but
Wisconsin's
too.
pretty nice. You
Yeah,
should
it's
go.
great. I should. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go meet this lady. And, hey, what's the deal? You know. Well, just the whole thing of like it's just a lot of times.
Yeah.
You just kind of get bunched into something that would
Mhm.
happen, especially never make a decision when you're angry. Like usually someone's super irate and they're just
Right.
blasting, didn't bother to check.
Well, and if nothing
You know.
else, even if you have a negative attitude going into a certain place, think of it this way: you're going to get some perspective. So
Right.
what's out there, so that way when I go to the next place or the place that I went to 3 days ago, I have something to compare to.
Right. Oh yeah, you can't truly understand is this
Sure.
the right place or not
Right.
if you have nothing to base it off
Right.
of. So
So
Yeah.
so again, tour again,
tour.
tour some more.
Yeah.
Like I've had phone calls where it's like, hey, can my child start tomorrow? I've never met this person in my life, and I usually say no. But I would love to bring you in for a tour, and we'll talk about what your family needs are.
Right.
Because, I could probably fill up a center real quick with people that need care like tomorrow.
Right. But
But they're probably going to be gone in 2 weeks because something wasn't right, or because I didn't
Mhm.
fully understand what their needs are,
yeah.
and they didn't fully understand what their own needs are.
Yeah.
And so, again, it's kind of like a full circle. Understand what you want, go do the tour so that you can then evaluate your own criteria on that tour.
Yeah.
And again, and like you said, tour the same place. You know, I invite people, so we schedule a tour. I'm really big on scheduling tours because from my perspective, we can put our best foot forward. From their perspective, they understand what time, and there's stuff that
Mhm.
we can go to, all that kind of stuff. But then I also, like, once the tour is over, I say, feel free, stop in anytime. Don't
Yeah.
call, don't send me an email, just stop in and see what we're doing, because I want to be caught off guard.
Let's do it
because-
live.
Right,
Yeah, yeah,
right,
like, yeah,
exactly. So, and then part of that is, so the third thing is, once you have your criteria and you're on the tour, ask questions.
Yeah.
So again, what's important to you? Ask questions pertinent about those, but then the key piece to that is revisit them. So you make your choice. It's been 2 weeks. Revisit that list and revisit those questions and make sure that you're truly happy with the results that you're
Right.
getting.
Are they is the results they're delivering what they and obviously there's always going to be
Sure,
sure, life happens, something happens, whatever, but
stuff
no,
happens all the time. But how do they
Right.
react to that?
Right.
How do they respond to
Yeah.
it? Are you satisfied keeping your child there?
Right.
Because, and you're gonna do it all the time or I shouldn't say all the time. You're going to do it if something bad happens.
Right.
Instinctively, you're gonna revisit what you looked at, what you were
Right.
told, and everything else. But I think it's really important to do that when everything's status quo, because then you can really take a hard look and say, okay, yeah, this place is good. This is what they're
Yeah.
doing for me. Or, man, I didn't even think that was a big deal, but now that I'm looking at what was important to me and they're not hitting any of it, like,
Right, yeah.
maybe I should look at this
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's
So-
cool. That's cool. I like that. It's good. It's terrible. Again, I'm very lucky because my mom has a daycare.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
but like, even just thinking about what if obviously it's nice knowing you now. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? But just kind of like the whole thing is where would I even start?
Right.
Where would I even begin? So thank you for that.
yeah, start by making a list.
So make a list. Just write it down.
Oh, I
Write
got
it
a
down.
bonus one too, number
Oh,
4.
dang,
A bonus on a bonus.
on a bonus. Okay.
You're a dad.
Yes.
Trust your instinct. So if you're a parent and you've done your list and you've made a tour and you've done like 6 tours and you've narrowed it down to 2 places, trust your instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't tell you how many times instinct has gotten me to make the right decision.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then, of course you have that to revisit, those questions and everything to fall back on. But, like, you can usually tell if you're working with good people, right?
Yes.
And, like,
Yes.
when you and I met, we met based on a mutual,
Tim Thompson.
yeah.
Yep.
Thanks, Tim. And,
Yep. Thanks, buddy. So, I'm repping for
oh, yeah,
Osteo
there you go,
Strong,
Osteo Strong, yeah.
so I just saw him this morning.
Oh, did you?
Got a
Cool.
little osteo workout.
But,
in.
like, within 5 minutes, I think both of us were like, all right, instincts is good. Let's start working
correct.
on something.
And correct. And I feel like it's always easier when you have someone else say,
Sure.
hey, Ian's a great guy.
Right,
great guy. But yeah, you can definitely. I always say, like, you gotta break a leg. You break your logic, because if you and I are sitting here the whole time, like, if we're getting in our head and we're like, I'm like,
Right.
well, he's wearing blue, like that's
What
my
does that
favorite
mean?
color. What is that? Like, was he stalking me on Facebook? And,
Yes.
and then
Yes, I was.
Yes, I was. Yes, I was. But so the break a leg with the logic, and then break your emotion and break through to your gut. But I always say, like, parentheses, your instinct,
Right.
because literally I feel like unless you are trying to do bad things in the world, like if you're going off your gut instinct, then you can't help but be right, because it's again, know yourself, all that stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, man,
no,
good
that's
stuff,
awesome.
dude. Thank you, because that, and it's not what I'm saying, like if you made.
It's not permanent.
It's not so much
That's
making
why
the
you
wrong choice. If you find that the daycare is not the right fit for you,
Right. Well, here's the secret,
Yeah.
too. We're just going to keep going with this.
keep it rolling, babe. All
Here's
right.
the secret. If JJ comes to my center
Yeah.
and you're not happy, guess what? We're probably not happy with the situation either.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least at the teacher and or director level,
Yeah.
they're probably not happy either. Because if you're not happy, then you're either going to be complaining about something, or in the perception is it's a complaint. In your
Right.
eyes, you are trying to get answers to something.
Correct.
It's this whole thing. And so it
It's just
doesn't
humans
help
being humans,
JJ.
man. Nuh-uh.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's like the
End of the day,
the
isn't
secret
helping
is
the
if you're
kid.
right, if you're not happy, the organization's probably not thrilled with the situation either, but
But the ultimate person suffering is the kid.
right.
So
And so, like, speak up. If it's not the right situation, go somewhere else. I tell people all the time, like, hey, we've been doing this for
Yeah.
2 weeks. This is not a good situation.
yeah.
Here's what I can do for you. I have this place to recommend. I know they
Right.
specialize in this or whatever. And that's a bold move, I guess,
But
because
Again, talking about your
but
instinct,
long term success.
in your
that's-
gut instinct,
right.
hey, this is the truth. It's got to win. This
Right.
is the right thing.
Right.
And I can.
And it seems to
yeah,
work out.
Yes. Awesome. So my man, dude, thank you
Dude,
so
thank you
much.
very much. I appreciate it.
it.
This was fun.
Appreciate it. This is I had a blast. So,
Yeah.
and definitely check out Little Scholars tour Little
That's
Scholars.
right, that's right. Come on,
and,
take a tour.
And thank you so much, because I know that this is something that it is very, very stressful and very, very important. So
It's super important, and it's fun to, take what I've learned and kind of pass it on to other people, and do it in an environment where we get to see change in kids,
yeah,
and that's really it's really cool. I mean, you're a
Oh,
dad,
yeah.
from a day to day,
That little
week to
light bulb.
week.
But
I
even
get to do that with so many kids.
so many kids, and I remember, like, it was just I can still remember those moments where working at my mom's daycare, of, like, just like it was like he or she would be like making like, oh God, now you gotta go, like, he did it
Yeah.
again, we can't do that, da da
Right,
da. And it might go on for weeks or months, and then they finally get
Yep.
that light bulb, and you're just like,
It's amazing.
worth it.
Yeah,
Worth
yeah,
it,
yeah.
every time.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh, cool.
It's cool.
Very cool. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us for our bonus with the bonus
Yeah,
video.
bonus with the bonus,
We got
yeah.
bonuses for days. So,
Yeah.
but thank you for coming in, hanging with us, and until next time.
Stay burn proof.
Oh, man.
All right, thanks, dude.
Thank you.